Good afternoon. You're listening to The Best with Sheila Vest this Memorial Day weekend, and I am so honored to have yet another soldier on our show today. This is Jerard Brewer, and he is a songwriter and has written songs on the CD compilation for GI Jams, and we're going to talk to him today. How are you, Jerard?
I am doing great, Sheila, and I just wanted to personally thank you for your patriotism and also support of the GI Jams project. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. Now, you're in the Marines.
I am.
And Dean Jackson, that set this interview up, told me 10 times that you are a lieutenant colonel.
That's correct.
Salute.
Thank you very much.
On this Memorial Day weekend, we do want to take a moment and thank you for your service to our country. That means a lot to us because you guys that go over there and try to keep us safe allow us to do things like cook hamburgers and hot dogs this weekend. So thank you for that. How did you get started in the service, and where are you stationed?
Well, how I got started, I had my degree first, so I had gone to college, and in 1986 I was looking for something a little more of a challenge, and I went straight to the Marine Corps and said, pick me. And lo and behold, they did, and I have been in the Marine Reserves for 26 years now, and about half of that time was spent on active duty.
Wow. That's a long time. Where are you stationed?
I'm currently at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
That's pretty cool. You're close. You're close. And do you have family? I
do. I have a beautiful bride of 21 years, almost, in August, actually, and I have 3 great kids.
Isn't that wonderful? That is awesome. Now, I know that you write a lot, and although I know you do sing, because on the CD it's got a picture of you wearing a hat with a guitar, unless that's somebody else, unless that's your stunt double.
That is definitely me, and I do sing some. You know, I currently, with time constraints and everything else, I just try to focus on making the best possible product that I can. I certainly hope in the future to be able to devote more time to the performing aspect of the business.
And I have to ask you this, I'm sorry, but I have a weird sense of humor. What is the guitar method you learned to play the guitar?
Well, thanks for bringing that up, Sheila.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
I literally learned in college via the monkey see, monkey do method. And that means a guy sat across from me. He was tired of playing by himself in church. And I said, well, show me. I'll do it with you. And that's how it all began. And if I'm being perfectly frank, I probably don't know much more today than I did back in college on the guitar. But it's just enough to plant that seed and hook me.
That has now grown into a tree.
So,
that seed has grown into a tree. And
it has. It is rooted.
It has. Well, we're glad you're here. I just had to bring that up, you know. Just make you feel special since you're a lieutenant colonel.
Yeah, thank you.
Dean Jackson says, I want you to know now he's a lieutenant colonel. But, you know, I told Dean, I said, well, I'm sure he is, and that's great, and we appreciate his service, but I'm sure he puts on his pants the same way I do.
Yeah, so. Pretty much, yeah. And then, you know, in the music world, that really doesn't come into play too much, so it's wonderful.
Yeah. You said you first got interested in music when you were 5 or 6, and your grandmother had a song, Michael Rowed the Boat Ashore, that we all sang.
Right.
Don't you wish that you had video of that?
Boy, I tell you what, I'm trying to envision what I looked like, you know, how I dressed, and I don't quite remember the guitar, but I know it was a fake. It wasn't real, but at the time, I thought I was just tearing it up.
Well, one of the things that just touched me, because I'm a girl and we like these girl things, is you started writing your own songs a year after you were married. Your wife was out of town for a high school reunion, and you wrote her a song.
Yes.
That is so sweet.
Yes. And that song is on the website, but it's a very special song, and on the website I'm actually singing that song because some songs are just too personal to let somebody else take, you know. So.
And the website is gijams.com, and your song is called As You Are.
Yes.
Now, who are your musical influences?
I have many musical influences. In the early days growing up in my parents' house, there was always country music on, so all of the classics, you know, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, everything from, you know, the 70s, the Eagles, Rod Stewart, just a tremendous amount of musical influence, too many to name.
That monkey see, monkey do guitar learning tied you with Roger Miller, I'm sure.
Yes, to some degree, yeah. Some of my songs I could picture Roger Miller having performed, for sure.
Yeah. Now, you've been in the G.I. Jam's Veterans Day show in Vegas.
Yes.
And I know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but can you tell us a little about that?
Well, I can, and that was my first real gig, and no pressure. Here I am, never been on stage before really, and here are the lights of Vegas and everything going around. Fantastic experience, and it really just opened my eyes to a whole new world. And it's somewhat intoxicating for a catchphrase, but being on the stage and having the audience respond to your stuff is really very rewarding.
Now, the few guys I've talked to that's associated with GI Jams talks about how much it means to them as an artist to be able to have this outlet. I know when you're deployed and you're overseas, you're kind of bored sometimes and don't have a lot to do, and you can get into some things you never thought you would. But how has this, being a part of the GI Jams project, changed your life?
Well, the great thing is, as a writer, no matter where you go, you can take that with you. But once you write it, then what? This answers that question, then what? This is an ideal platform for anyone in the service or a veteran that has musical talent to have their stuff actually heard by, leaders in the industry. And on a personal level, I truly believe in the healing power of music. And to be able to do that and then have it heard it just kind of completes the cycle. And it's a platform that has never been available, as far as I'm concerned, before.
Well, I know Denny Randell and Biddy Shippers are the ones that are executive producers for this, and Dean was telling me that Denny Randell has written some of the greatest songs for some of the greatest artists of our time. So it's good to see them giving, so much to you guys that go out and fight for us. And I know a lot of our country artists do the same. One of the biggest is, like Toby Keith, Craig Morgan, Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels is such a trooper for you guys. And there's a lot of folks that are standing back here that aren't doing a lot, but we're supporting you guys from home. And as I told you before we went on, I have 2 boys in the service, and it's really makes you a little more appreciative of the freedoms that we have, because freedom's not free. You guys go over and give of yourselves, and a lot of you give your lives for us to stay free here in the States. And this Memorial Day weekend, I want you to know that we appreciate that so much.
Well, thank you very much. And just before we move on, I want to recognize all service members and veterans out there, and especially this weekend, all of those that have given that ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, we have a lot here in our county. When our National Guard troops leave and then they come back home, we always have people line the streets from like where they turn onto Highway 100 after they get off the interstate all the way back down here to the Armory, and Kix 96 carries it live, doing a play-by-play for the people that can't get out. We've got a lot of elderly that are homebound, and we let them know what's going on with it, and it's always a very moving broadcast for us.
Absolutely.
It's just our way of saying things.
And I'm sure greatly appreciated, I am sure.
Well, and we do other things, like we don't want them to know they're forgotten. Last year year before last, I sent birthday cards to all of our guys and gals that were over there and put a bumper sticker, and wanted to see pictures of Kix 96 bumper sticker in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I could just see a tank puddling around out there with our bumper sticker, like that's their favorite station to listen to while they're over there.
That's great.
Now, you've got a couple of songs on this CD, which is available at gijams.com, and one of them that you wrote on here, you've got 2 that's really good, Jerard Brewer, Let Me Think Now, and I like that one, but my favorite on here, as I told you, is Bridge Out Back. That's just a very moving song to me. Tell us how you came about that one.
Well, this is going to be a shocker for you, Sheila, but where I grew up, my house sat on about, it's the original house that my mother grew up in, so it's over 100 years old. Sets on a couple of acres of land on a hill with a river behind it, and believe it or not, a bridge out back.
Wow.
And so I can only imagine, and of course, what I love about the writing aspect is that I can take it anywhere, and I'm sure more than one individual had their, first kiss or whatever on that bridge out back. And I can just kind of relate to that, and whether it's, my mother's generation or the generation before, or mine, it just kind of came to me in that sense. And it's just an innocent coming-of-age kind of song, and I just really love the completed version of that song.
Well, let's let the folks hear it real quick. And this is not you singing. Tell us about who's singing it.
The vocalist on this is named Donnie Sawyer. He's up there kind of in your territory in the Nashville area. Multi-talented individual, and believe it or not, he and I met on the internet when I was in Iraq. So it was a great sound for the type of song I had written, and I was really just looking to connect with somebody that could finish it the way he did, and it came out really great. So
well, here is Donnie Sawyer singing a Jerard Brewer written song. It's called Bridge Out Back on Kix 96.
The bridge out back was black and strong, prominent and proud. The autumn leaves so vibrant, like a prism from the clouds. Hands in her pocket, sparkling water below as she's staring from the ledge, reminiscent of hours past, just standing on that bridge. Just past the garden on the path to the tracks, more than flowers blossomed by the bridge out back. She got her first kiss on the path out back that delivered them down to the railroad tracks. Hearts and mind a tangled mess, but she knew they could prevail. Young and in love, they walked hand in hand as she balanced the rail. He didn't have much, but she loved him so that he was so surprised. Instead of buying a ring, he told her she had diamonds in her eyes. Just past the garden on the path to the tracks, more than flowers blossomed by the bridge out back. She got her first kiss on the path out back that delivered them down to the railroad tracks.
And we are back with G.I. Jam's country artist Jerard Brewer, or should I call you Lieutenant Colonel Brewer?
Oh, Jerard is fine, thank you.
That's a little thing that Dean Jackson and I had going because he wanted to make sure I understood you guys' ranks.
Right.
So, that's a great song, Bridge Out Back. I hope people like it, and I hope they'll go to gijams.com and get this compilation disc. We appreciate all of you guys and gals on here. Some of them are rock, some of them are country, some of them are a little bluesy, and it's got a little short bio with y'all's picture in there.
Yes.
Yeah, we got your picture. Look at that. But we appreciate, as I said, we appreciate your service to our country. Thank you for keeping us free over here. And we know that freedom is not free, but this Memorial Day weekend, we want you to know that we appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I'll put you on the spot. What 3 things can you not do without?
Well, most importantly is family, and the relationships that you build over the years. A close second would be music. I have to have that. I have to have that outlet. And then thirdly is just, I guess the third thing would be, I don't know, kind of follow up with the second thing, but all of the friends that have assisted to, or lent an ear, or given encouragement, not only with GI Jams or any of that, but just throughout life, kind of mentors that you meet along the way.
That's pretty cool. You didn't do anything material in there.
No.
If somebody were to ask me that off of the cuff, I would probably have to say chocolate, a book to read, and my flip-flops.
Right. I'm a pretty simple guy. If I have a pen and a piece of paper, I'm pretty happy.
And with family, you'll have that. Thank you so much for giving us your time today, and God bless you this Memorial Day weekend. Any final thoughts you would like to give the folks listening?
Just a couple. I just really want to thank Denny Randell and Biddy Shippers for providing us this, and Dean Jackson for making this opportunity happen, and you for the radio piece to it. And, you know, we just really appreciate so much everything that you do, and your service to us is immeasurable. I mean, we don't know how to thank people for the things that they have done, but the best I can offer is a heartfelt thank you.
Well, and this Memorial Day, once again, thank you for your service. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye-bye.